Field centers and deck box, or just kidding. Field centers and playmats are up right now. If you use ECC 15 on 2 or more of these, you will get the chance to save on your purchase. I'll leave a link down below for you guys, demcoolgames.com, and let's go check out those deck lists, shall we? Especially the let's subscribe and so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. The first deck list I have here is from Robbie Finaze. You guys might know him as Akido. This is the second place turbo jank that you have to put together in a couple minutes because you don't have your cards on you. So we have 1 copy of Ancient Gear Box, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Frame, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Golem, triple copies of Ultimate Pound, triple copies of Hunting Hound. We have 1 copy of the Reactor Dragon, 1 copy of the Wyvern, 1 copy of Gamma Seal, 1 copy of Jizakuru, triple copies of Lava Golem, triple copies of Gamma, 1 copy of Driver, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Fusion, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 copies of Mystic Mine, 2 copies of Overload Fusion, triple copies of Potted Izizes, triple copies of Power Bond, triple copies of Trade-In, and 1 copy of Red Reboot. Before you're like, what in the heck is this contraption? This is called Hide Behind Mystic Mine while you prepare to make the biggest Ancient Gear Golem monsters in the year 2021 to win the game. Right? Awesome, yeah. We have 1 copy of Scrap Wyvern, triple copies of Ancient Gear Ballista, 1 copy of Snaphold, 1 Dreadnought Dreadnoid, 1 Silent Monarch, and 1 Castel. Then we have 1 copy of the Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, 1000 Ice Restrict, 2 copies of the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, and triple copies of Howitzer. Then we have 1 copy Drone Lockbird, 1 copy of Inspector Border, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Monster Reborn, triple copies of Twin Twisters, triple copies of Different Dimension Ground, 1 copy of Paleozoic Dynamiscus, triple copies of Royal Decree, and 1 copy of Solemn Judgment. Wrapping up, I'm going to hide in Mystic Mine and just gather resources to OTK my opponent. Kind of funny, actually. I didn't actually think we'd see an Ancient Gear deck anytime soon, but alas, here we are. Next up here, this is Jura Bevel's Machina, I would say Machina toolbox deck effectively here. This is the second Machina list now that I have seen doing something, and evidently my comments section yesterday notified me there's another Machina list out of Italy actually that performed relatively well. So I actually think that that's pretty freaking cool. Machina's out here finally getting love. This build a little bit more combo heavy than the previous build that we saw that used traps to make its strategy a little bit more foolproof, bulletproof. We have 1 copy of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 1 copy of Despot 001, 1 copy of Drone Lockbird, 1 Effect Veiler, 2 copies of the Gamma Model 4624, Shirokunishi. We have 1 copy of Aerator, 1 Citadel, triple Fortress, triple copies of Gear Frame, 2 copies of the Irradiator, 2 copies of Metal Cruncher, 1 copy of the Possessed Storage, 1 Rune Force, triple copies of the Unclassed Spare, 2 copies of Nibiru. We have 2 frickin' Satellite Synchrons. If a monster special summon from your graveyard, except during damage step, you special summon this card from your hand. If you have a Synchro monster with Warrior or Synchron or Stardust in its original card name in your graveyard, you can make this card's level become 4 till the end of this turn. Okay. And we have 1 Call by the Grave, 2 copies of Crossout Designator, triple copies of Redeployment, 2 copies of Tuning, triple copies of Virgin Schedule, 1 Infinite Permanence, and 1 copy Machine Overdrive. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Platinum Gadget, 1 Auroradon, 1 copy of Hulk, 1 copy of Interblafnir, 1 Super Dora, 2 copies of Gigaginix, 1 Zeus, 1 Vermilion Dragomech, 1 copy of Cheng Ying, 1 copy of the Baribo, 1 Burrito, 1 copy of Formula, 1 F8 on Dragster, and 1 Cloud Castle. Then we have 1 Cycle Reader, triple copies of Lancia, 2 Drone Lockbird, triple copies of Token Collector, 1 Twin Twisters, triple copies of Dimensional Barrier, 1 copy of Machine Overdrive, and 1 copy of Red Reboot here. Wrapping up Machina for you guys. Next up here, these are going to be deck list from DC Comics in Valencia, Spain. Young Duelist reached out to me and said, hey, we'd love for you to cover our deck list on a video. So we're going to do just that. First place out of this event was Paul are still playing Phantom Knights. And I'm just going to kind of turbo through these here. We're playing the Dark Rule of No Remorse for the board breaking. Pretty standardized. I feel like you should be playing this deck if you're not playing Triple Tour Guide, TBH here. One Wings, I think it's become pretty much standardized. I know some people try to play Sword, but I don't know. I feel like that's not the best way. And truthfully, I think that Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is pretty much mandatory in this deck now. All right. Interesting enough that we're not maining the Scythe. I think a lot of people have opted to go for siding the Scythe now, just for the maximized results, because you just board it in if you're effectively going first. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's a total dead draw if you're going second, obviously. So adjustments. Next up here is Virtual World. And I see that this might be the most standardized list that I've seen in a very long time. I think the most interesting thing down here is the fact that we are not playing Dragoon, we're playing Kaliga. You get so many like weird interaction windows with this deck. You pick whatever you want to play at this point, so that's more than fine. Tozolkin's become standard down here. One Mahime is normal, 2 Foolish Burial Goods. I know some builds, we've seen like Foolish Burial Goods and stuff see play, but that just does not feel very good to me in the grand scheme of things. I feel like that's just bad. Gamma's like the absolute best value that you can get in this deck. And I see we have the board breakers down here as well. See, we're also signing only 1 Anti-Spell Fragrance and the 1 IO. Board in however that you see that you need fit for whatever matchup. And of course, we all know Skill Drain is a heck of a card for this deck. Next up here is Drytron. Oscar Pastor's 3rd place finish here. I am very happy to see that this build is still playing Dragoon. Recent innovations have kind of shown us that heading towards Destroy Phoenix Enforcer can work out for this deck, right? It's just, I think a few comments I've heard from players is it doesn't feel as good not having like the towers like boss monster to protect you, and I think that's kind of like your trade-off here. I'm glad to see that they were finding success with the Dragoon package. I don't actually have any issues with that outside of that. Double Herald of Orange Light, very standard. Our 5 ritual monsters we've chosen to play. I see we're also playing the Instant Fusion. So we can get to Mr. Millenniumizer Strict. I see we're also citing the 3rd Herald down here. Okay, so if something goes wrong, we do have immediate access to this down here in the side deck. Outside of that, okay. Like I said, I think the Dragoon package at this point feels a little bit more normalized for this particular deck. Oh boy, more Dragoon. Once again, I see this package is also playing the Dragoon. Oh well, shimber me timbers. I see that we are playing the Assemble Robin in this particular list. Okay, so you guys want to get some bounceability for your level 1s. I guess if all things go wrong in your Drytron deck, and you want to end on like Assemble Nightwing and like Assemble Robin, you can technically do that. That's kind of freaking hilarious, actually. I didn't actually think about using Assemble Robin in this deck. Okay. I see this build is citing Quadardus as well. Okay, I see that Cesar Diaz here really wanted to get spicy with some of these tech choices. 43 cards running out, Double Herald in the main deck. Okay. I see we're also playing Little Herald instead of Big Herald for this particular list. And then Assemble Robin's really freaking cute, actually. Okay. And then the last list I have for you guys here for this particular video, I've seen so many Flunderies decks, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that I get tired of talking about these, but just imagine talking about Penguins. Hey, this one's playing the Nadir package. All right, that's actually good. I've seen a lot of people talking about playing this. We're on Double Prosp, Triple Duality. Okay, we're not playing Extra. That's fine. Yeah, that package really does give you a little bit. I see that we are playing Book of Moon. Book of Moon really did become like that linchpin for this deck in order to play the game. Like, if you can't actually play the game with this deck, you're going to have a bad time. I see that Flunderies and Dreaming Town really has become the go-to, at least for this format. And then we just have board breakers. Sphere Mode, Lightning Storm. And of course, this set gets to play Featherstorm, because why would we want our opponent to play monster effects? Yeah, Wing Beast, by the way. Alright, you just have to control a Wing Beast Wind Monster. Guess who's a Wing Beast Wind Monster? I'll give you a little bit of a hint. You got a couple of them to floodgate your opponent out of the game. So that wraps up this chunk of deck profiles for you guys. There's quite a lot of interesting things out here, but I do want to say thank you, DC Comics, for sending me this info, and of course to Akino and to Jira showing that Rogue can still do well. Guys, please leave a comment down below what you guys think. Smash the love crap out of that subscribing, so you guys don't miss on more Lost content. I'll see your faces back here later on. They have some more cool Lost content. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by Vanquill40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mquillgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.